I've talked in different podcast, different episodes in the podcast that I'm married and I have 2 kids, and
Right.
you yourself, you are in a relationship. So I think the first, topic or subtopic I want to talk about and, you know, have a thought about it is, how nowadays everybody's making the marriage and relationship like a taboo conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And whereby the taboo is more like, why do you need to be in a relationship?
yeah. So coming from Deborah, why do you think it's important today? When things are coming to the point where everybody, most of like, because social media makes you believe a lot of things.
Right.
So we're at some point where social media and the trends are trying to tell people, mostly women, that being in a relationship or marriage, it's kind of lame. It's a choice you make.
And you need to be independent.
Yeah.
Why did a
So
man or a
you
woman?
you as Deborah, why did you choose to be in a relationship?
So I love love.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, I want to give love
Yeah.
and I want them to give me love.
Yeah.
So when I think about relationships, I think about showing love and letting my partner know that I want to be loved, and at the same time tell him the things that I want for the future.
Yeah.
Like, you're married,
Mm-hmm.
so at the end of the day, that's like the main goal. Maybe it may not be for so many people,
Yeah.
but for me, that's my main goal.
Yeah.
How about you being married?
So I think it comes down to maybe where you're raised at,
Right.
the culture, the education you get as a person. So some countries are more family oriented, whereas
Mm,
different countries are more, career oriented, and it's different. So I think the upbringing, if I think they call it like grooming,
grooming.
like grooming. Well, I don't use it in a bad context. Like
Right.
basically where I'm raised as a woman, you're allowed to, like, my father always like pushed me to follow school, get
Mm-hmm.
educated, and have my independency. But same time, we're not born and made by God to be alone. you
Right.
know I know a lot of people say, but I see myself alone better than with someone else, and then
Mm,
with new labels and new extra stuff. I didn't know about the the dating context until I met Americans, because in my country we don't go dating. You
actually,
either go from, not either, but you meet somebody, okay, you going to, like, times at dinner or something, you
yeah,
start talking,
yeah,
and then you decide if you want to be in a relationship or not. But the dating era, we don't have it, because I think it's a waste of time
I can see
where I
that.
come from.
Yeah.
And then this is why I'm saying, like, nowadays that things have spread. Social media helps with that. So a lot of people, that are in there, especially young generations, they want to look cool. So
Mm,
coming to the point where social media tells them that a traditional family, it's not in anymore,
right,
it's not trendy anymore, and
right.
it's just lame, and it's the first settling choice you make as a human being. It's not, you haven't achieved anything. So I feel really sad for those new generation who let other, the world tell them how to be, and then they fight with each other within their head, because a lot of women, I am pretty sure, because I'm a woman myself, you want a man beside you to
Mm,
carry out, in life. And we both talk a lot about that. You've talked with my husband a lot with that, for that. And then, it's just like different contexts, different cultures, different upbringing, and then now social media comes into. So I think we need, as people who have a platform, or to spread the message, and the traditional family values.
right.
It's not. For those who don't want to follow it, well, everybody have their own choices. We're not here to force anything to anybody, but
Right.
like I want to be that voice to people who are scared to go out there and say, hey, I believe in a traditional family.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in marriage. I believe in kids. And I believe in, you know, how God made us. And then I want to be that voice for those people
And
who are
that's good.
scared, you know, to say it out loud. Because today it's kind of hard.
It is hard.
It's really hard to express yourself, even though they call it freedom of speech.
Is
When you
it?
say your own speech, then it's not freedom anymore because your opinion doesn't, you know, meet theirs,
Mm-hmm.
and which is really hard. Anyway, to go back to me, why I chose the life I chose, it's because, you know, we've talked a lot about everything that I've done throughout the years, you know,
Right.
since small. And then I've done, you know, arts, I've done concerts, I've done this, I've been there. And when it comes to a certain age, you've done a lot of things. And then you just sit down and you say, like, okay, I can
What's next?
I can have a lot of money, I can be independent, I can have my apartment. But then what?
Mm-hmm.
What
Mm-hmm.
am I gonna do? You know, travel, party, but everything comes to an end when it comes to these things, you know. So I said, okay, I'm gonna try to be open. I was always open for love because I love, like you said. I'm a romantic at heart.
Oh.
So when I met Manny, I said, you know, I need to give green light to a man that chooses me
Right.
instead of me choosing someone that doesn't really want me, kind of
Right.
thing.
Right.
So Manny was all over heels for me, and I was like, this man really is coming after me, so I should give him a chance. And then here we
Mm.
are today. Yesterday we celebrated our anniversary,
I
actually, the marriage
know.
anniversary, and
5 years, people.
5 years of marriage and 2 kids. That was
Oh.
fast, I know. But you know, to come down to that, you know, you can have it all.
You can.
Make a pause,
You can.
focus on family and raise your kids. And then this is why we did the fast way we did, because we want
Mm.
to, you know, finish this era in this time. And then so we can continue being independent and, you know, grow in career and everything. And you can have it all if you manage it. It is not so hard.
Right.
And if you can get past the idea of what people would say about you, right?
I agree. And coming back to what you were saying in my culture, like what you're
Mm-hmm.
talking about, for us, it's more like you don't date,
Mm-hmm.
you date to get married.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like when I tell my parents I'm dating someone, they already assume you're getting married to this person. So you don't just tell them, "Oh, I'm dating Harry,
Yeah.
Derek, Jonathan," but you have to figure out if you're gonna introduce
Mm-hmm.
the person that you're going to say to your parents,
Yeah.
it should be someone that you're gonna get married to.
Yeah. But I also think like, yeah, it was like that. It was like that, and I don't think it was bad. But still, we have to adjust our expectations in the time being. When are we living? The time we're living
But
at.
I right
So.
now they don't really care. Well, for them it's more like if this is what you want,
Mm-hmm.
it should be someone that you're gonna get married to.
Yeah.
Don't come and tell me
Yeah,
that
do
you
what
wanna
you want to
date.
do and then come and, you know, tell us. I think because me, I have kids, so I think in the future, so for my daughter and my
Right.
son. And the thing is that, would I want them to rush into something and then regret
Mm,
later? No. How to not rush is to take things slow sometimes, you know, nothing. Because there's one thing I always thought about myself. It's, again, we go back to the way you are raised,
raise.
the cultural, like the people and the place that is around you. So you're always like, what they're gonna say and everything. And then I was years old, and I'm like, um, you wanna co-host? Okay. So, you know, like, we're talking about that, and then I think that it's gonna, how you say, now things have changed.
Right.
So if you rush, I don't think Russian is good.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
for me, I always thought I have a time bomb going, so I have to be fast, and because I'm not gonna be this young no more, and I want to have kids this early, and you know that's stupid. That's so stupid because when I think, right, I feel like a child still. You know?
Oh. And we always will feel this way, even though we are 50, 60,
Yeah.
70. Your body doesn't really recognize your age. Your
Yeah.
mind, actually.
You're as young as you feel. I know that, but yeah, it's also true that women have a time bomb when it comes
Tick,
to
tick,
like
tick,
creating creating a family. And the thing is that, you know, I wish I had someone tell me that you don't need to rush.
Right.
It's okay to breathe. It's okay to take things slow. Even though now I'm really happy and God, you know, gave me
Blessed
everything,
you.
blessed me with good things. So, you know, but if it wasn't the case, then, you know, the regret would be big. But still, you know, with today's era and how things are, I think we as people have to adjust. So, you know, to that. But point being that today, what the reason we wanted to do this episode is, you know, to be the voice of women and men who believe in those traditional
Right.
values
Right.
and who are scared to say it out loud, you know.
And when you speak about, when you said about you rushing and someone, I mean, you feeling like if you had someone to tell you to relax, it's not about rushing, but it's more like what you felt.
Yeah.
It reminds me of my friend right now being 30, 38, 40, 50, still trying to discover themselves, to not make the wrong decision
I
on
think
getting like a family
Yeah.
and, you know, getting the right person to build that with. And you have that. You have found the right man
yeah.
to build life with. So it's different. But
We talked about that a lot actually. You know, me and you, when it comes to, you know, relationship and marriage.
right.
When you choose somebody, it's not, you know, oh my God, it's the, you know, the man of my dreams. That doesn't exist. And the fact that we push this in women that a man has to be perfect, you know, like I always look at my husband
That's
and
true.
I'm like, am I putting too much weight on him? Like, is my expectations of him burying him in stress?
Right.
Because I don't want him to wake up and feel like he's walking on eggshells and to meet the expectations I have of him. So we have to realize that nobody's perfect. And then some of our, as women, we have this list. I used to have that list of,
You had a list?
yeah.
No.
The man, you know, has to have this and this and this and this and this for me to be okay.
No
You know,
way.
to choose that man. And then you grow up. That's a childish, you know, mentality because you grow up and you see, okay, nobody's perfect. And I said it to you yesterday. I said, when you choose somebody, you choose somebody that your heart, you know, loves. You choose somebody that you think you are free with and you can be yourself with, and then the rest follows. And nobody's perfect. Everybody's gonna make some mistakes at some point. Everybody has their own flaws. The only point is, which flaws
are you willing to accept?
Are you willing to accept? You know, so to live with which flaws, which things this man has, or this, you know, in general,
Or woman.
or woman, are you willing to live with? And then you choose that you're willing to live with, and then you ride it. And there's no like always good and good and good and good. There's ups and downs. You know, you discover yourself in a relationship, you discover yourself in marriage, you become two single people who once didn't care about what other people think, or you know, you didn't think that you have to give somebody, you know, answers to, and then now you're two people and you have to learn how to navigate life as one, two people as one. And then there are gonna be fights, they're gonna be, you know, like not talking to each other, they're gonna be days that you don't like each other, they're gonna be days that you want to run away. But the thing is that if you have chosen somebody with the flaws you knew they have, and you accepted those, you're always going to turn back and make
Right.
it work. Because no, it's easy to run away.
Very easy.
It's easy to say, I'm done. You know, I don't want this no
The
more.
towel is up and you're ready to run.
Yeah. So the hard part is staying. The hard part is figuring out. I always said, yes, you leave. You don't like this man no more. The man is making you annoying. He's not respectful, this and that and that. You leave. And eventually, you're going to find somebody else, right? Because you're not somebody who's going to be alone.
And with the same manners. Or different.
Yeah. So that person you choose after is going to have his own flaws.
Right.
And then again, you're going to be at the point where you can, you know, you want to leave. And then you're like, okay, I'm again here. So what am I supposed to do? So you're always unhappy. The best thing that my parents taught me is to stick around. I'm not talking about the cases where there's physical abuse, where there's cheating, where there's, you know, a lot of different things going on. I'm talking about the normal, you know, between the lines, normal relationship. I don't think there's one as...
And I don't think there's a normal relationship.
Yeah.
And when it comes to what you're talking about, my mom used to tell me, pick your battles, right?
Yeah.
Like, if it's gonna be a small fight, don't make it too big, whereby coming back to each other is gonna be difficult. So pick your battles. When you have to say yes, just say yes.
Yeah.
To let it slide.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to fight all the time. Who really wants to fight all the time?
No, you don't want to fight all the time. But also the thing is, because I look like, because in the other episode, I was protecting men too. And I look like I'm pro-man. I am pro-man. You know, there's nothing bad about it. But it has been so crazy the last like decade. Feminism, females, you know, rights. And I understand that, and I'm with it. One thing we have forgotten is that not all men are bad. There's men who are, you know, have issues, but I don't want to go there because that's a different topic. But we're at the point where I'm talking about the, you know, good men.
Right.
And we have put in them in this place where they not recognized no more. They are used like people who are made of stone, who don't have no soul or heart or blood or even feelings.
I think it's in general whereby men have to be more stronger. They have to be more tougher.
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean for you to not recognize that. And then I'm talking that because you as a woman with those thoughts, you go into a relationship and a marriage, and now you are writing that man like, you know, all over the place, like he has no feelings, and then you wonder why he doesn't talk to you about this and that, and then the divorce happens or separation and all that. We have to recognize men, you know.
Right.
My husband wakes up, goes to work, works hard, and then comes home and he helps me with the kids a lot. And then sometimes we have fights about like, you know, stupid stuff. And then I turn around and I'm like, do I really want to be mad at him for this thing? And like yell at him when he was at work and he's stressed. And now I'm like yelling about something not even relevant just because I had an overwhelming day. So I take a step back and I'm like, you know, okay, I think I need to stop.
Right.
Because he needs
his time.
And I tell him, you know, babe, I got the kids. I'll be fine. Go to your room, you know, play in your computer, do the things you need to do, take a shower or whatever. And I just let him be, because not every day they have good days.
Right.
Not every day. And the stress, we always said in that episode that we talked about careers and stuff, you know, the stay-at-home mothers and stuff. Yes, we get overwhelmed. Yes, we get tired. Yes, we do a lot. If I get into that, I think your head's gonna spin. But the thing is, that's it. Do you think about when are you gonna pay rent? Do you think about the light bill? Do you think about, you know, the insurance stuff? Do you think about the gas for the car you ride, or, you know, that and this? I promise you, I don't. Sometimes it crosses my mind, But even when I asked him, he's like, that's not you to worry about.
And that's a real man.
And imagine all that stress comes to him.
Right.
You know, so he has to keep his family, provide for 2 kids and a wife, and then keep on the head all that stress, and then he comes home and I'm mad about something, you know. So I always try to remind myself that when it comes to that, because a lot of divorce happens because of this, because the women are unsatisfied, the man is always angry, and then they don't communicate, and there's a barrier, and then it's not because they don't love each other, it's because, you know.
And it always comes down to communication, because if you're not able to communicate on how you feel about a certain situation or your conversation, then it does break things down to whereby you feel you're not being heard. He feels he doesn't, like you're not listening to him, so it's a different story. But relationships is a very sensitive situation because everybody has an input, and you need to figure out when you're gonna put that input, because you don't wanna not walk on eggshells, but it's more like you wanna feel free with this person. So if you're gonna date anybody, I would suggest date someone that you're able to communicate with and be honest with.
Yeah, that's the most important thing, because I always said, even if you're not gonna, you know, be in the same page as me, even if you're not gonna work towards what I'm talking about, communicating to you, at least you are listening to me.
Right.
You know, like, not everything has to be talked to death, but when it comes to things, and sometimes you come to, like in marriage, especially after you have kids, that's when it gets like tricky. There's moments when things come, you're talking your opinion, he's talking his opinion, and then you come to this like triangle that none of you are accepting each other's opinion. So what me and him do, we say, let's table it.
Right.
Just leave it, you know, leave the whole conversation, because we're not coming to an agreement, and you know what? Leave it. We don't have to discuss it. We don't have to be in the same page and like force each other. No, leave it. It's not, you know, life or death situation. So yeah, you know, like it's ups and downs, it's phases. We talked that day with the friend group when I said that we also have to be understanding when you're new in relationship, and there's a bridge men need to pass. We as women, but for women, I think it's easier because we want that man, we want the family, and we are differently wired, you know. And for men, they've been, especially men who are 30 plus. Imagine being 30
They
years.
have already been wired to what they want to think and how they want things to be done.
So for 30 years, they've been, let's say, single most of the time. They lived the, you know, single life and, you know, the bachelorette life and all that. And then out of nowhere, they found somebody they like. And they, after a while, they want to spend their life with. And then you cannot expect, as a human being, for that person, yesterday a single man with a different mindset, today in a relationship with you, for him to be perfect. It's gonna need a bridge. It's a bridge, you know, it's a time, it's a bridge, and we have to be understanding. And that's when the new thing that I think it's not such a bad idea, dating, comes, because it allows them to go through that bridge without you getting hurt.
Right.
If you don't want to accept some things, you know, you just have to turn a blind eye until he comes around to the idea of being two. Am I making any sense?
Yes, you are. And then when it comes to what you're talking about, I think I told you this when we started talking, was at the beginning of the relationship, you have to let him know what you want. Like for me, I told him, you have to be God-fearing, you have to love your family, and you need to be a provider. At the end of the day, yes, I can have my own, but I need a man who's willing to be God-fearing, and love his family, because the way he will love his family is the same way he will love you. And mostly for men, I think the way they love their mom is how they love you. And for women, is the way they love their dad is how they love you. So you'll end up dating as a lady, you'll end up dating your dad's version, and as a man, you end up dating your mom version. It's kind of weird, but at the same time, when you look at relationships, you will see the pattern of how men are with their wives and how women are with their husbands. So
that's because I said it earlier that when you, as a girl, like your manly figure that it's your father. You grow up with that manly figure, and then you love your dad. You love your dad, and you get raised by him, and the way he treats you, his mom, your mom, his wife, and then that's the man you think how men
like
should be, the model, the father model thing. And then when you choose a man in life to spend your life with, it's basically similar to your dad's version, like you said. It's because that's what you take as what a man should look like and be, and in many cases it's a good thing, because if dads decide to show good, good, to be a good father, to show up for their daughters, to treat their mother, his wife, good in front of the kids, because your daughter is always looking, and she's always, being wired in her brain how a man should be. And if you're not going to be a model, a good model, then she's going to end up choosing, they call it short to go daddy issues, but
daddy issues, mommy issues, they're all one.
But it always comes down to nothing's perfect. Nothing is, flowers and rainbows and perfect life and perfect marriage, perfect relationship. Everything has issues. The thing is that you have to be strong enough to overcome it, because in the end of the day, you made a choice, and that choice is yours. And then I wouldn't be able to sleep at night if I wouldn't see it through, if I wouldn't be able to look at it and say, I've done everything I could to make it work, and it didn't work regardless. And then you let go. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to sleep, because then I'm like, so I wasted all these years, which, life is short, but also long. And then you don't want to waste your time with no reason.
Right.
So, yeah.
Relationship, girl, is something that is so sensitive, because when you speak about men and women being in a relationship, you have to understand that you said no one is perfect. You're going to have your ups, you're going to have your downs, and at the same time, people have different personalities. You may be brought up with a very quiet, loving family, and then you have this other side where the girl is with the guy. I mean, the family is crazy, loud. So you need to find that balance. And at the same time, I remember someone told me, love is not enough. And then it made me realize, what? It's you? And I kept thinking, what is she saying? Love is not enough. And
I always say that.
And then I realized, because everything adds up. You can't just have love and then assume that everything is going to be good.
Love is not enough, because it's not enough, but it's also everything. So, to elaborate, it's easy when you're alone in a relationship as a couple. You're just you two, you figure it out, you go out, you watch movies, I don't know, you do adventures, you just enjoy each other and life. And even if you have issues, the issue's gonna be, minor things, not like crazy stuff. Then children come. And the biggest number of divorce in the world happens when this couples have kids.
Oh, really?
Yes, that's the biggest separation.
I didn't know.
in the world that happens is the era after you have kids. You
Wow.
know, because now 9 months the woman is pregnant, so hormones change. You know, you becoming like more like focused in the baby and everything. Then financial changes, because now you're having a baby, you need to buy this and that and
Right.
that. That adds stress to the man, because he has to find now the money to provide for the baby too, not for just two people. It's a financial switch, which women, I promise you, ask a pregnant woman, ask a newly mom, have you ever thought about how your man feels right now when it comes to financial? Nobody, no women thinks about it, most of them, because it's, you're so focused on this baby, for the health of this baby, for the caring of this baby, that you forget that those diapers you use in that, in this, in that crib, and that it's bought with money. And then that money, where you don't care where it comes from, you want it provided, you know, because you have a baby, that baby needs to have that. And then now it's man's job to find the extra money. If they have a lot of money, then fine, but if they don't, they have to, in most cases, you know, financial switches are really big at this point. Then now you have a stressed man, you have a stressed mom, wife, right? So after the kid moves 3 months, and then now you're postpartum, hormonal, all that things that going on, we get crazy, we get like, we can't logic, and it's not even talked about as much, which I'm gonna talk in one episode, like entirely given to that point, to the postpartum moms. And then men don't understand it.
Right.
They don't understand that. And then women don't understand why her man is stressed too. So now you have two people going crazy in different directions and not meeting each other anywhere, because it's not talked, it's frowned upon. And then now you had a baby in the middle who needs constant care, because it's so tiny, and you know, you need to keep that living being alive. And then after a while, there's no intimacy, there's no conversation, there's no dating, there's nothing other than he didn't sleep, he didn't eat, he I didn't sleep, I'm tired, I'm this, I'm that, I'm that, I need that, I need this. There's nothing, no extra conversation except this one's, for a really good long time. So now man starts getting,
So they
drew back, which is natural, right? Because the mom is going through some things, and the man didn't give birth, so he's hormonally fine.
Yeah.
So they don't understand it, but also we don't understand that they didn't give birth. I gave birth. I'm the one with hormonal issues, not him. You know, so now the space grows bigger. And then what happens is that we forget our husbands. We are focused in the family, in the child, we forget about our husband. And that switch happened in like this. You were pregnant, you gave birth, and you forgot him. Which I know it sounds super weird and childish, you know, when you think about it, but they might get jealous. They might need the attention they had yesterday, and now a baby took over, and then he doesn't exist in any type of way.
Right.
You're not cooking for him. You're not doing. My man can cook. Manny can cook, can clean, can do everything, but it's still your wife. You need your wife, right? So women don't understand that, and then men don't understand women, what they're going through, and the space and the space and the space, and then the fights at night because you're sleep deprived for like months on end, and you can't logically think, and then you get on fights, and in this heat of moments and everything, you say, I'm done. So you grab the baby and you go. And then now you left everything behind because of what? Not being able to understand the era, the phase you're at. If you give a pause to everything and then just ride the ride, go over the mountain. And once you're over it, everything starts shifting back to who you two were. Because it's just a small time frame where that happens. And then if you can overcome it, accept it, it's gonna be okay.
Oh, you said it.
Yeah.
And I know so many women out there listening and they really understand what you're talking about. Yeah. And when it comes to the single relationship, it's not the same as marriage, because when it comes to, when I mean single relationship, I mean like
Not
couples who are not married,
Yeah.
who don't have kids. They don't have really so much problems. The only problems they get is more of a lack of communication,
Yeah.
finances, and it's more of finding the right person, because at the end of the day, the most important thing you'll ever do in your life is to find the right person, because you don't want to find the wrong person and then spend 70, 50 years with this person and then realize 20 years later they're not the right person for you.
I don't think I agree with you there.
Why? Tell me.
Because when you say the right person, like, how do you know it's the right person? What makes a person right?
Let me tell you how you can tell. Is how you fight. Do you fight good? Is it more like, I'm gonna tell her this and she's gonna tell me this, and then we have to like up each other? It comes to fight, it comes to communication, and then at the end of it, do you always come back and say, okay, I understand where you come from, I'm sorry? Or on the other side, the other person is like, I understand where you're coming from, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. So finding the right person, let me clear that, it's more of finding someone that you can fight good with, and not feel like you have to up the other person. And at the same time, it's more like, when I think about like my dad and mom, yes, there's no relationship that is good, but at the end of the day, they came back to each other and be like, yeah, I'm sorry, I did this, and maybe the way you reacted, you didn't like this, which is good. But it's finding that one person that when you fight good. And at the end of the day, even though you fight and you make all this fuss, you're still gonna be together.
Okay. So basically, you're saying the right person is the person who you can fight with and then go back together.
Right.
Okay. For me, it's more like, I said I don't agree. What happened?
I think
That's okay.
there you go. Uh-huh.
Some technical issues.
There you go.
So I think when I said I don't agree is because I just said it earlier that there's no right. There's no perfect picture person. There's no list person, It comes down to the things you can accept in a person. So I think it makes a person the right person if that person has some things that you can live with.
I agree with you, because when I mean the right person, like you just said it right now, is something that you're able to agree with.
Yeah.
Like, for example, whatever it is,
Yeah.
being able to cross that bridge.
Yeah.
That's the right person.
Yeah.
For you.
So yeah, I just wanted everybody who's watching to know what do you mean by right, because the right person, because it's been pictured for years and decades, and since I was small, the right man, right woman, right. What makes a person right for you?
Someone who you can ride with, you can fight with, you can love with, you can
Some may
do
say,
all of this with.
Yeah, some may say, I've met men, I have a lot of friends, so I met men who didn't want a woman who had a lot of past relationships, which I'm like, okay, I understand that. I'm not closed-minded, far from it. I'm not closed-minded, but that's a choice that man made. I don't want a woman who had a lot of past relationship. And it doesn't have to do maybe nothing with a lot of intimacy with different men, whereas there's more to do with the fact that like the pain and the suffering and the nights on end that you cried for them and that and this person and that person, and that it drains you, right? So now you're with this good man, and then you can't give him everything you have to give because you were wounded on the past. So I think a lot of men, when they choose a woman, they meet a woman, they want to know that, because I I think it's fair. I think it's fair when someone says, I don't want somebody who's like severely wounded, because I don't want to be in. That sounded weird. Anyway,
Girl, we are all
I
wounded somehow.
yes, we are wounded, but not to the point that we shouldn't expect somebody to put us together and then love us.
No.
Like I
It shouldn't be
understand
that way.
when women, you said it yourself. I wouldn't never spend my life or marry a man who's been divorced that has
yes.
kids. You
That's one
said
thing
that.
I told her. A man who's married, I'm married before and divorced with kids, I wouldn't date that. Why? Because I always feel that his kids will always be the number one in the relationship. Okay, another one
Which
will
is
be
completely normal and completely acceptable, because
right. And
yeah.
then people have their own preferences when it comes to the other women who say, I don't want to get to the guy who's married, even though she loves or she adores this man. She will never date a man who's been married before, which is understandable.
Yeah.
Because in my culture, girl, you marry once. And when you get married and then you get divorced, it's more like, in my culture, it's more like, did you really think through before getting married? And at the same time, did you think through to you solving the issues that were in that marriage? Because if you marry someone, you marry for life.
Yeah.
And I want that. I want a man that I'm able to marry for life without having to feel like, oh, maybe 1 year from now, 2 years from now, he's gonna divorce me, and I do not want that.
So let me ask you this.
Tell me.
Why is it okay for us to have preferences? Say, I'm never gonna accept a man that was married and have kids and now it's divorced. But it's so messed up when a man says, I do not want a woman that has severe, like a lot of past relationship.
And it happens because
Why is that, an issue?
An issue because I think men want someone who they can mold. I've always had
Mold?
this mold in a way of she is
Grooming, you mean?
grooming, like mold in the terms of she is not new. She is someone that I have met from the beginning, and I can find a way of grooming her that she can be the woman I want to be.
I don't believe that.
Girl, let me tell you, men out here.
I know there's men like
that. You know yourself.
Yeah, I know there's men like that there, and I know about that. But my question was different.
Oh, okay.
My question was, why is it okay for women to have this kind of preferences, but it's so messed up when a man puts a preference out there, like you're saying now? Because you're saying, oh, a man has that preference because he wants to groom that girl. What about women when they say, I don't want to marry a divorced man that has kids? What is she choosing now? Why she wants a brand new man then?
Because she wants someone that she can build with. As for men, they want someone who they can mold. No. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I believe that men have this mentality of they want, let me not say naive, but they want like a soft girl, someone who they can build a life with, and everything's gonna be flowers and.
I don't believe. I think you bought into like the stigma in life.
No.
Because not all men
correct me
like
if I'm
that.
wrong, people, but I can guarantee you that, girl. Yep.
I don't stand with you there. So we're gonna table it.
No, let's talk about it.
No, because I'm talking about it, and I'm saying, like, you see, like, this is my issue with things. This is my issue nowadays with everything, because you're talking not maybe in general, but I'm not saying there's not men out there who want to groom their women. I've known those men. I know men like that till this day, that they chose someone so young in age because they didn't want her to have no past whatsoever, because they wanted to have a brand new person. But that doesn't mean that they can groom her into something they want, because they can't, because that woman's gonna grow and gonna have their own character to what her parents raised her and educate her. The thing is, not all men are like that, and some men, they just don't want a woman with extreme past.
Okay, so tell me, Lalo, because ask any other man, if even maybe you may be different, but um, men will want someone that it's not about control. It's about, am I able to tell her that I need this and she's gonna do it, or she's gonna be like, no, I'm not gonna do that, and that's how I want it to be, and I'm a woman, I'm independent. That's different. But if they have a girl who they're able to communicate with, and she's able to listen and be like, it's not about him telling me what to do.
Yeah.
It's more of, okay, let me just do it for him because he likes it.
Now you're talking about life in a relationship and marriage where who gives what. That's different.
Not who gives what, girl.
But taking care of it, that's what you're saying. Like for that,
I'm giving that as an example.
Yeah, I understand that, but I don't think it's in every case like that, because to me, I didn't want a man with some. So my most like thing that was when I chose my husband was, is he ambitious? Because that's what gets you through life. Because even if you don't have a job or money, as husband and wife, you financially struggle. If you're ambitious, you're gonna find a way to navigate that. If you are somebody who has no dreams, no goals, no ambitions, you're gonna be in that couch, and then I'm gonna resent you. So you have your choices, and I chose my man on those things. I've known every other flaw he has. We all have flaws. I have flaws. So I said, okay, he has this and this and this. And as we went and gone, I saw those issues in our relationship that came from him. And I was like, you know what? It's okay. It's okay. It's not crazy. It's not something that affects us or me. So you go through it, right? But I'm talking about the fact that why is it okay for us to have choice when we choose somebody, when you say it out loud, because everybody, even men, have choices. And when they choose someone like John, when he chose you, I'm sure he had some expectations and some reasons why he chose you, right? So, but not everybody says it out loud. And when they say it out loud, like I said it today, right now, why it's okay for the woman to have those, those goals when they meet the man. I want him not to be divorced with kids. And then everybody's like, yeah, I understand that. It's real because you don't want that and this. But when a man says, I do not want that, you call him this and that and that.
I come back to what I'm saying. That men will want to be the one who can.
I don't know why you keep repeating that, because that has nothing to do, because you're putting like, did John wanted to mold you into mold?
Not at all. No.
Exactly. So I am sure he had some reason why he chose you. So I'm talking about in all men, including mine and yours, including John and Manny. When they chose a woman, they have some lines, I want her to be like this and like this. But if they say it out loud, they're gonna sound like assholes because he has choices, huh? He didn't want a girl like this, huh? Women gonna feminist with bands protesting, all this shit. But when women say it, it's fine. You see, this is what I'm saying. Like here, like this, and listen. I know you don't have, I know you don't have like a bad, ill thought when you say that. But this is what I mean, that it's been so messed up for decades that it makes you think that it's okay to think of men that way because they have some choices.
Okay. Okay, let me rephrase it so that you can get into to what I'm trying to say. the same thing that you were saying, how women will want men to be a certain type of criteria, right? The same way men will want women to be in a certain criteria. But for men, how I see it is more like some will be vocal about it, some will not be vocal about it.
So you're saying all
Some-
men think that way?
Not all, because there's always that percentage where they think different. But men would always feel like I can mold this person to who they want to be the person that they want to see.
There may be one
In
or
the
two or
future.
few or a percentage of men, but there's serial killers. There's, you know, like I'm not talking for like the small amount of men who think a certain way. I'm talking about in general. And my question wasn't about that. I'm still going back to it because I'm gonna fight you to the end, even if we are here till the morning. Because I'm still not talking about that. Take them out of the picture. Take them out. We're not talking about them. We're not talking about the abusers, the ones that they beat their wives. We're not talking about the ones that cheat their wives. We're not talking about them. We're talking about decent, regular men, right? Why is it okay for me as Lalu to say I don't want a divorced man with kids, but it's not okay for him to say the same? I don't want a divorced woman with kids.
It's okay for them to say it.
It's not because
it is okay because think
you
about
saying
it.
that, yes, but when you see it, in general, when first thought that came to your mind, now that I elaborated and fought and fought and fought, it clicked you. But the first thought that came to your mind when I asked this question was the mold.
You know why? Because it will still come back to that. Because men will always, and women, depends on how your relationship is, they will always want you to be a specific person that they always picture you to be. Like, I will guarantee you this.
Not everybody.
For a fact. When you get into a relationship, you see the potential in someone, and you spoke about it. Someone who's ambitious, someone who's like go-getter. You see that in that person, right?
Yeah.
You've already pictured how he's gonna be and what we're gonna do together, right? The same thing when it comes to now the woman's side, or rather the man's side, the man's side. He may not tell you, but silently he's hoping you'll be
everybody has expectations.
So they will mold you either like that. Depends if.
So why is it called expectations when it comes from a woman, but it's called molding when it comes from a man?
Because it is molding.
It is not molding. Because it's okay for you to have it was okay for me to have expectation for my husband to be ambitious, this and that, but if he thinks the same way, then he wants to mold me.
Yeah.
No, girl.
No. Okay. Let me take it back. Okay. So why I'm saying molding, it's because when he thinks of the woman he wants to be with, he's trying to create that person. As for us, we've already seen what he's potentially could be. So we assume that he's gonna be what he needs to be, but yet he hasn't gotten.
The case. Because you've been with that man dating for what? 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 1 year. You see the potential. But if the same guy says that, sorry guys. If the same guy says the same things you're saying, it's called molded, grooming, this, because
both grooming.
It's
both grooming. I think I was trying to be too polite with the ladies, but at the same time, it's both grooming because it's
called expectation. Grooming is when, because now we're coming out of the context, because grooming is when parents can groom you, right? It's actually grooming. The parent grooms the child. Hi. The parents groom the child, if you want to say that way, because they raise the child into be the person they are today, right? So you're grooming your child. And when you talk about the man wanting to groom the woman, I don't think someone can groom a adult, right? So those are called expectations.
Okay. you can say that, but girl, let me tell you something for a fact. Even though you don't say it, you are mentally picturing your man to be who they want to be. And as for a woman, same for a man, as for a man, they're hoping that you're going to be the person that they want you to be.
Those are expectations, not grooming.
Girl, that's grooming and the clear, straightforward. I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything.
Okay, we're gonna table it. It's okay.
You're not gonna table.
We're gonna table it because I think an adult person cannot be groomed, and when you talk about like that, it's called expectation and not grooming. I'll call him to elaborate more.
We'll be going at it, money.
Can they explain grooming?
No, we know what grooming is, but apparently she doesn't.
Oh no.
There's two types of grooming.
Come here.
The one
Come
that you're
here.
talking about.
Join. This is my husband, by the way. Welcome him.
So there are like multiple types of grooming, because what I think Deborah was talking about is basically like the situation with Jay-Z and Beyonce, right? Jay-Z was already plus in his probably 30s, almost 35, and he met Beyonce when she was about 16 years old.
Yeah, but that's child, and that's grooming.
Yeah, that's definitely grooming. Yeah. That's a way. Okay, so you guys agree on that already?
Yeah, but what if the guy is 30 and the girl is 27? Can she be groomed?
No, 100% not.
Okay,
Those
no.
called expectations.
No, let's take it back, girl.
You should call John to back you up.
What you're talking about, money, is for a man, it's more. I mean, for a woman, she wants to see the expectation of how he perceives the girl to be. As for the woman, she looks at the guy and she's like, he's gonna be ambitious, he's a go-getter.
So preferences as compared to expectations, right?
Yeah.
Because that's two different things. Because I can expect all day something from someone, but if they don't meet my expectations.
You know, this whole conversation started because I told her, how is it okay for a woman to say, I do not want to marry a divorced man with kids, but when a man says something like that, then he's a fucking asshole.
The double standard, right?
Yeah.
Double
And she jumped right into molding and grooming, and I said, this is it, because the society have made you to think that if men, they're all grooming and they're doing and they're...
But tell me, money, like... Be clear, honest.
I'm gonna call John to back you up because
be very honest. When it comes to who you wanted as a wife, you had already a picture of who this person is going to be, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And then when it comes to you are thinking, this is what I want.
Yeah.
And maybe she wasn't where you expected her to be, so you were hoping, or maybe you may like mold her, like maybe go do this, go get that, like go get her, like you're pushing her to her greatness.
Okay, yeah.
Isn't that bad, or?
I don't think it's bad, because I think two people, when they connect, they can bring the best out of each other, and that should be something that happens naturally. If it happens organically, for sure, but if someone's forcing someone to change based on what they perceive and what they want in their partner, then that's two different things.
Okay.
But also that's still not grooming.
It's not okay. Maybe I didn't use the right word.
I'm teasing
but
you.
it's more of molding.
Thank
you, money.
Because he's a man, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go back to she said, like the thoughts, like when man meets a girl, they have this ideas in the head how she should be, and they groom her into be that. Is that the case? You as a man, when you met me, did you had this like, okay, my wife has to be like this and this, and then you started working me through to be that person?
It's more of pushing you to your greatness, not like I want you to be like every day going to gym.
Grooming. You're talking about grooming.
But grooming, pushing you to your greatness depends on who the man is. But okay.
I think that's two different things, because like the grooming part is like it's one-sided.
Yeah.
When you're pushing someone to your greatness, like you're saying, it's something that you're both doing it to each other, because you're both, and it's naturally, it's not something that's actually spoken about.
Yeah.
It just happens. You want to level up for each other and with each other.
But she's talking about grooming in terms of you see her, but you can see her potential.
So you want to help her reach her potential by
That's
pushing
not
Grooming
it.
her.
grooming.
Is that
Grooming.
Is that grooming?
No,
I don't know.
that's not grooming. That's
That's
not
a good
grooming.
question. That's a
pushing.
very good question
That's
because it's
pushing.
like because yeah, I would say that's more like trying to help and trying to push that person because you could see the potential in
Yeah.
them, and vice versa. I think the man and the woman should see that potential in each other and push each other to that. Yeah.
That's why I love you.
Oh, look at this.
This is why I chose him. He's wise, very wise.
But yeah, it's a
I
very.
love it.
That was very
I
good.
was pushing her.
We
pushing
went
her
back and forth,
because
but we got
no,
this.
Yeah.
actually, you know, like because we talked in friendship, you know, people can have different opinions.
Yeah.
But the thing is that I don't blame you for jumping to that because I was the one who teased you, you know, because I knew that's gonna come out. Because every single person, ask whoever you want, they're gonna jump to the same conclusion without thinking. And when you elaborate and elaborate and elaborate, you change your mind while you're talking. But when your first thought is to trash man, because that's what world has done. You know, that is my message. That was I was saying even before that, you know, we are so focused in this like for decades to put men down so we can get up in a certain way that we have forgotten that they are human beings, right? So this is why I teased you and I said, you know what I said, and then you jump to the fact that they're trying to mold you, groom you, because I know you didn't mean it.
There are people that
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah, but I
don't
told
know
her
about the percentage.
put them aside because there's people who kill some women. Like a man in my country just killed his wife for money, right? But there's bad people everywhere. There's bad men, bad women. But I'm talking about, like I said, decent, normal men. Now, why? If he would have said, "I don't want her because she has a lot of relationship on the past," he would have been seen as an asshole, right? But whereas me, if I say I don't want you because you're divorced with kids, I'm making a choice. You know, it's a choice, and it's a normal choice.
It's a double standard in society.
So this is what I wanted, the message I wanted to put out. You know, it's not you. I'm not blaming you for saying that.
Don't
but
worry, she's not bullying me.
Okay,
Yo,
baby.
mwah.
He just came from work, so I gotta let him go. Bye, baby. So yeah, guys, and you know we love each other, so don't worry
As
about
always.
us.
But it's good because
I am bad at teasing. I am bad at pushing, and you know.
and at the
poking.
same time it's good because you'll have a different view from a different
Yeah.
group of people.
Yeah.
I'll have a different view from a different group of people.
Yeah.
So we're able to go back and
put it
forth.
out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So to wrap it up, my people, is that you know marriage is not easy. When you choose somebody that you know how I said it to her, like female version for women out there. You know when you're out and you're going out with your girls and everything, and the whole night you're sucking in your tummy, and you're like, you know, and then once you get
Wanna
home,
be
you're
the
just
best
like,
person.
you relax. Choose somebody who makes you feel like that the entire time. Like you can just let it go, you know, because it's long and it's gonna be ups and downs and roller coaster and feelings and fights and everything. So you want to be with somebody who you can let go. Just let go. And yeah, you know.
For me, what I can say is someone who you can fight well with.
Yeah.
I would take that because
So you have to.
when you're able to fight with someone well, yes, you're gonna have those arguments, but at the same time, you're gonna come back and it's not gonna be the topic of yesterday and the day before. And
You know, you saw that man just was here, my husband. I threw a hairdryer first one time at him.
feisty.
I'm joking, but like we fought a lot, but we just came back. So I don't think like when the thing is, like I said, you know, just accept the flaws and move on and ride the ride, and it's okay. You know, it's gonna be okay, and it's okay, women. It's okay to forgive. Don't make society makes you think that you're weak because
Unless you have to fight back and prove a point. And
no, it is okay. Blank, forgive. It is okay to close an eye and move on. It is okay to be more understanding than the man is. Don't let the society teach you or say that you're less of a woman, that you're a coward, that you're this and that, just because you want to be the nature you are.
Nope.
So do yourself, look at your family, look at yourself, don't care about anybody else.
And choose your battles. At the end of the day, if it's not that serious, forget about it.
Let it go. Okay, people, it's been a pleasure, and I know it's been a long topic and, very, very wide, and we're gonna elaborate more and more as we go in the future.
Yeah.
And it's been truly a pleasure to talk to you all, and thank you for sticking with us. And we are new, so we are still...
We're not that new, girl.
Not that new, but still, we're navigating. And thank you for sticking with us, and please give us some love and some support, and subscribe in our YouTube channel, and give us follow on TikTok, and just share us, and see you next week again.
Peace out.
This is Life Unscripted with Lalou
and Deborah.
Bye.
We did it.